Hey y'all, welcome back to Bookshelf of Opinions. I'm Elizabeth,
And I'm Hannah.
and we are very excited for this episode in February, in
Yeah.
case anyone was wondering.
Post Valentine's Day.
Woo! We can talk about Valentine's plans as well.
Yeah.
But first, what have you been reading?
Reading, I just, seconds before this finished, I don't know where I
It's
put it.
on the shelf, bro.
Oh, it is. I finished a novel love story by Ashley Poston.
And tell us your thoughts,
It was phenomenal. Okay,
right?
so, there were so many moments in it which she even talks in it when, okay, I don't care if this is spoilers. I'm so sorry. When Anders is asking why the Quixotic
Mm-hmm.
Falls series is her favorite, and she's like, I feel like I'm coming home. Like, she wrote this specifically for me. I was like, I feel like reading this. Ashley Poston wrote this specifically for
Yes.
me. Like, I didn't want it to end. It was so perfect,
Mm-hmm.
but it was also the perfect ending.
Yes. And did you see the little Dead Romantics little cameo? There's not a 7-year slip one.
No.
But I think it's
That's
because Dead
okay.
Romantics is the first one that she ties them in. But
I was gonna
anyways.
say, but Dead Note. Oh, I for sure saw it.
Oh
I
yes, I was like,
appreciated that they brought
I know what
Florence
that
into
is.
it at the end because I knew who Benji was,
Mm-hmm.
and then they brought her, and at the end, I was like, oh, what a wholesome little thing, and it helps kick off their bookstore. Also, so much of it of Prue and Elsie's friendship made me think of us
Oh.
and the growth specifically, and like the realizations
Mm-hmm.
at the end. And then the fact that her real name is Eileen also just makes my heart so happy because I only told you this for the first time like recently, but
Yes.
I've told my family for years like Eileen is what I want to name my daughter, like one of my first kids, or maybe it's my last. I haven't decided yet. Solely so when I'm in labor, I can play Come On Eileen. And then I can always just play Come On Eileen like whenever I need to summon my daughter. I can just like which oh wait, now I want to name all my kids like after song names so I can just play their
Jesse's
song.
girl.
Jesse's no, I can't do that.
No.
I can't do Jesse's girl.
Stacy's mom.
I will have a Stacy. I will have a Stacy. But no. Um yeah, there's just like lots of little things, and the fact that it takes place in Atlanta too
Mm-hmm.
is
Which is
just
but just bizarre. I feel like you
it's
don't really.
so bizarre that the Elsie has copper hair, which I know copper is a different but whatever. Let me have my
Yes,
moment.
of course.
It just
What's your next read?
I think my next read, I'm going back and forth. It's leaning more towards blue graffiti.
You have 5 Survive on there too. I
I
kind of am like,
know. Okay, I was realizing, I think it was on my way home today when I was trying to figure out my next read, that if I read Blue Graffiti, no book on my shelf, if I look at it, is written by a man.
interesting. That's not. I definitely have books written by men on my
Like
shelf.
I've read books written by men, and I think they're all sitting like on the outside bookshelf, but like I don't know why. I just had that harsh
I do
realization of
understand
that.
that.
I was like, oh, but I'm excited because it's him who wrote it. Why can't I think of
Callahan
Callahan?
Scotland.
I knew I had the Callahan. I couldn't think of the last name, and I wanted to give him his proper credit. So I'm very excited. What about you? What have you been reading?
Okay, so I finished Dance of Thieves. And I
How
didn't.
do you feel?
I feel like I don't feel upset. I definitely miss them, but I feel like it was like a whole healing thing of like reading them as an adult now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm not reading Battle of Thieves right now. I think I'm just gonna wait, even though there's
Okay.
like a jump. I think I just need to like, because there's also a feeling of like after you reread something, I feel like you don't get the same feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So right now I'm reading, no surprise, Riley Sager, Survive the Night, a thriller, because he writes some of the most insane thrillers. This is like my 4th book of his, I think.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm reading that right now. But I know what I'm reading after this book, though. I'm reading, in case anyone wants to know,
What are you reading?
I'm gonna read The 5-Star Weekend by Ellen Hildebrand. Apparently, I've been saying it wrong this whole time. It's not Aline, it's Ellen. It's just
Oh.
spelled wrong, but my mom told me it's not spelled wrong. My mom told me I was just mispronouncing it. But it's all her books are set in like Nantucket, New England.
Oh, fun.
Because I saw like a bunch of like Pinterest boards that were like New England oyster themed,
Oh,
like parties and wedding showers, and I was like, this is my homeland.
I want to go back so bad.
And so that's what I want to have a. I deserve someone to throw me a New England theme park. Anyways, so that's what I'm reading right now. What have you been listening to?
So I don't know why I even wear earbuds anymore. I'm just
You
not
don't.
going to.
I'm chewing on gum too, by the way. I apologize.
I just rip them out of my ear. Okay. Today, like my entire ride home from work, I listened to Role Model to
As you
prepare
should.
for the concert because
Have you
it's
listened to Sally when the wine runs out?
yes.
So good.
Is that the deluxe song you were talking about?
Yes. Okay, so that one, The Longest Go By, and Recliner are the deluxe
Okay.
ones.
So because I don't listen to him, like I've listened to him like twice maybe, and like straight through. And
Mhm.
so there are some of his songs that I do like kind of recognize enough because I listened to them a lot when I first listened to him back when we were getting concert tickets. And so then the Sally When the Wine Runs Out came on, and I was like, "Ugh, this song just feels like very comforting right now." But so like that one, and then Look at That Woman and Deeply So in
Yes.
Love, which are his top three songs, I realize, which sounds basic, but like those
Okay.
three. And then so I've been listening to that, and then always my Valentine's Day playlist, my early 2000 rom-coms playlist, my good mood shower mix, like it
Just a rotation.
all my happy pop song girly playlists, and then Role Model.
Nice.
What about you? What have you been listening to?
Okay, so I've been listening to obviously it is Valentine's Day, so I listened to my Valentine's playlist and the do over. Oh, I did finish the do over by the way, but I think I already said that. I
It's
finished that
okay.
for Valentine's Day. Um, and then the Lumineers released a new album on Valentine's Day called Automatic. I've been listening to that. I love the songs Automatic, You're All I've Got, and Sunflower. Those are my top three from that album. And then I've been listening strictly today on repeat. The only song I've been listening to is
Oh,
Oogum Boogum song. You know that? Yep.
yes.
Yeah. On repeat. That's all I've been listening to. But I listen to a lot of like Motown music like that. Not Motown, but
Mhm.
like 50s songs like that. But that song's like strictly, there's no other song I've been playing today besides that song.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it's such a good song.
It is. Did you? Sorry, you saying Lumineers? Did you know that? I'm sure you probably did know that they're going on tour. Are
Yes,
you on the pre-sale for their tickets?
I am.
Okay, good.
And I know other people that are.
Oh,
Um,
perfect.
no, because they're gonna be in Savannah in September, and then they're gonna be in Atlanta. I was like
Mhm.
hesitant, but everyone knows we live in Georgia, so
Yeah.
it's fine.
I was
Um,
getting my hair cut on Saturday, and my hair lady was telling me how she was on the pre-sale for tickets. And then she's like, I don't know if I want to take my daughters because that's just more money. And I was like, they can just watch. I was like, either take your daughters or they can just watch recordings of it and you can enjoy a fun night out.
so the Lumineers are my first concert ever,
I know.
and so I'm very excited. I mean, as if I'm going, I have really fingers crossed I can get tickets.
I believe in you.
But yes, I am on the pre-sale, so I'm very
Okay.
excited about it.
Sorry.
Valentine's Day. What did we do for Valentine's
Valentine's
Day?
Day. So I worked from home that day, which was a great start to a Valentine's Day.
Really great.
And then Elizabeth and I went to see Dirty Dancing, which was my first time seeing it. And it was
Okay,
phenomenal.
so backstory here. Me and my sisters watched Dirty Dancing. I am not exaggerating when I say every day. Like I truly am not exaggerating. I say we watched Dirty Dancing every day my senior year of high school. Um, doing schoolwork, and so me and my sisters can quote it, and we can tell you what scene's gonna happen next. We are obsessed with it, and so obviously when it was playing at this like old fashioned theater, close to us, I was like, we're gonna go. Me and Hannah were gonna go, and we saw and it was just like the most like
It was
just a
so
bunch of older
wholesome.
ladies in there too, and it just
And
felt like a classic movie theater.
they were just, you could tell it was like a girls' night, even if they had their husbands with them.
And every
It
time
was,
Patrick Swayze came on
they
the
were
screen, they
hooping
were
and
like
hollering. Oh,
whistling. It was amazing, and so it was very fun. And I was glad I got to be with Hannah for first time experiencing such a masterpiece.
it was so good. I kind of want to watch it again. Like, I don't know if I could right now, but I
Oh,
want to.
I could.
I know I could, but honestly, after a novel love story, I'm like,
Understood.
I
Understood.
don't want romance. That sounds so bad.
It's okay.
Not like that.
Don't worry about it.
I like how you move the mic away as if we can't hear you and as if people can't read lips.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
Um,
no, so we did that. And then we had Galentine's Saturday night.
We had a little Valentine's party at my sister's house.
Which
Very
was
fun.
cute and
The
precious.
pictures were very cute.
I know. I'm so glad Kristen brought her digital camera.
Me too.
It was so precious. And then yeah.
Here we are. I keep on doing a thumbs up. I feel like I've been doing thumbs up all the time.
You're welcome. I also need something,
Yeah.
but I don't mean it in that way. I mean it in just oh, stop.
I don't work this week, so
Yeah,
it's a
I
very
work all
fun
week.
week.
It is what it is.
So Hannah, you want to do your transition?
I'm so great at transitions. So speaking
This is
of
a new
which,
segment of the pod. I'm sure you can pick it up. Hannah's doing transitions now.
So, speaking of working all week and not having to work all week, and the times of Elizabeth just sitting without anything to do, it leads to reflective periods. And in these reflective periods, she's come up with our episode of today entitled Dear Younger Me, dot, dot, dot. I think
Woohoo!
that was a great
It was.
transition.
It was. So everyone knows the trend of like, I met my younger self for coffee today. This is the inspo because me and
Hmm.
Hannah are both chronically immersed into world culture, pop culture,
Hmm.
as
As
we're
20
young
year old,
young
22-year
women,
old girl
yeah.
should be.
So we both did that, and we're both gonna read ours, and then we have questions about like what we would have things we would tell our younger selves, and then
We're
questions
going to
like,
read and then we're going to do the questions.
yeah, does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
know it makes.
some of the questions will kind of be answered in this, but we could like expand on them more. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to kick us off?
I can. I'm just like, I haven't read this in, because I wrote it like a week and a half or 2
Mine's
weeks
very
ago.
long because I'm never gonna post it.
Mine's an appropriate length only because I made it in the format of a post knowing
Yeah.
I'm never going to post it.
Mine's not. Mine's long, so I apologize.
Mine's short because I
I
don't know.
sent mine to Hannah like I don't know a couple days ago.
No, you sent it so randomly, and I was honestly a little scared at first. When you sent that, I was like, "What?" I was like, "Did she mean to send this to me?"
Yes.
Anyways, um, I don't know.
I'm
This feels
trying
so
to like
awkward now.
trying to swallow my gum so it can be serious for a moment.
That's disgusting.
Hold on. I'm gonna go throw it away in trash. Another. I'm
Okay,
getting up.
open one of the trash bags though. Don't just
I
like
know.
plop it
I'm
in.
gonna grab a tissue.
Okay, so you're like gonna actually fully commit to. Oh my god. Oh, I forget I have tissues over there. So sorry. I'm just. I don't know what to say. I cleaned my room, guys. Not that that matters, and not that you'll know, but I cleaned it.
I'm back. I'm back. I'm back.
All
Okay.
right, perfect.
Serious moment now, Hannah.
I can't be serious. I don't know if I can do this while looking at you.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
All right. I'm just. That feels
I'll
more
look.
awkward.
I'll close my eyes. I'll look down.
No, you close. I don't think I can. Hold on. I
Okay.
don't. All right. This feels
Wow.
better. Oh, the sunset's so pretty in the trees. Sorry. Okay. This still feels awkward, but it feels better. Okay. I'm
Sorry.
Take a picture.
I had to. I had to.
All right.
Take it away.
I can be serious now. I met my younger self for coffee today. She was 10 minutes early and waiting in her car for me. I was 10 minutes early and already inside waiting for her. We both ordered our iced lattes. She was already anxious for the next thing on her list. I knew I had all day to rest because doing nothing is okay. She was barefaced and rocking her natural hair. I had mascara on and light curls. She asked about the sisters. I showed her pictures of us all at brunch together. She covered her stomach, avoiding drawing attention. I spoke openly, knowing that my body does hold wonders and I deserve the space I hold. She asked if we had a boyfriend. I told her we found friends who hold a boyfriend's place because we won't settle for just any man. She gave a polite smile when we left. I embraced her, knowing she needed the hug more than I did. I hope we meet for coffee again soon.
How sweet.
Right?
I've never read mine out loud. Is it like healing to read yours out loud?
It is, because you forget what you're saying, and then because words
Yeah.
have power, and so then actually reading it, I'm like, oh, I actually wrote this because
Yours
it
is
actually is
like
true.
so sweet.
Yours is too. Don't discount
No,
yours.
I'm not discounting. I'm just saying
Okay.
like like I don't know. As a friend standpoint, like I just feel proud of yours. Okay.
Yeah. It's funny. I like how I put the sisters in there, and none of them listen to this, so they'll never know.
Besides me.
Besides you, one might.
Yeah.
But I hope they know they got a special place.
They ain't never gonna know because they don't listen.
They're gonna listen to this and then make their own mockumentary podcast against it. Sorry, it's a serious moment.
They're gonna be like, we met our younger selves today. We still bully our sisters.
We still bully our sisters, and we're still hot, and they're
Still the
not.
better ones.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
Okay, no, you're fine. Okay. I do understand what you're saying.
Yeah. Do you need to turn around? Do you need me? Sorry. Is this better?
No, I'll turn around.
Okay. It is actually kind of therapeutic turning all the way around. Take your earbud out so you don't rip it out. And you can stare at a lovely picture of me as a child. Or you can look in the mirror and say it to yourself. That
No,
might be.
no, it's okay. It's okay. You can still hear me though?
Yes.
Okay. I apologize in advance. Mine is long. All right. I met my high school self for coffee today. She was 30 minutes early waiting in her car. I was 5 minutes early, already found a table. She laughed anxiously when she walked in and said, I guess some things never change. We are a creature of sorry, my bad. I said, I guess some things never change. We are a creature of habit, but we're still growing. I said as I ordered us both iced lavender chai. I cannot freaking read today. She smiled with her mouth closed, with her mouth closed, insecure of her teeth. I gave her a toothy grin. She had her hair long and straight, growing it out so she can fit in with all her friends. I had mine cut in a wavy bob. She was wearing her staple flowy patterned pants and a t-shirt with Birkenstock sandals. I was wearing baggy jeans, a band t-shirt, and Birkenstock clogs. She thought my tattoos and nose ring was so cool. We both were wearing our rings and bracelets, fidgeting with them. She asked me about her friends from school and if we still see them. I told her about the friendships we have made as an adult and that are answered prayers and show it for us and don't make us question our worth. I tell her how we found our passion again for reading and the podcast we have with our best friend that stayed with us. She asked if we ever figure out our career plan. I told her that we have found a new type of joy in working with special needs and proud that we are actually doing what we love. She asked if we have ever been asked out and if we have ever found love. I give her a smile, not wanting to spoil it all, and tell her that through all the heartbreak it is worth it for the right one. She asked me about her family, and I tell her they are still the most important thing to us. When it was time to go, she leaned in and told me she was glad we could meet, and that she was shocked we were still here to be able to. I asked She asked how we got through it. I grabbed her hand and across the table and told her that it doesn't necessarily get easier, but we keep fighting too because even on our hardest days, we figured out that we deserve to be here for the people around us, but most importantly for ourselves. I hugged her goodbye and told her we are still growing to be easy on ourselves. Hopefully we will meet again because we will both still be here. There you go. I'm sorry, I was so anxious reading that out loud that my speech impediment
It's
is
okay.
showing.
I almost
So
cried, honestly.
mine?
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
know.
Hannah, don't say
Hearing it
that.
out loud just makes it different. Like reading it,
I,
I can laugh.
no, I agree. I agree.
Hearing you say it, I'm like,
You
oh my
saying
god,
yours, I was like, oh, yes, it
it's the growth.
is the growth. Okay.
Well, in that case,
In that case, more on to emotional conversations.
emotional
Okay.
damage. Sorry.
So some of these questions are like what we said, but they're going to be expounded on.
um, so we want to start at the second one because I feel like that both of our little poems line up more with that.
Yeah, let's start with the second one.
So at 15, what did you want to be when you grow up, and has that changed? I didn't fully read the question. I just saw the at 15 part.
You're fine. Do you want me to answer first?
Yeah, I asked you, so it feels
Okay.
weird to answer the own
Well,
question
at
again.
15-year-old Elizabeth still had the deep desire to be a writer, but thought about working with special needs and doing speech pathology actually, but didn't think she was smart enough to do it, had no place that she knew where to work in that environment. And so then since 15, the rest of high school, Elizabeth had no career plan and was anxious.
And how has that changed?
Elizabeth is doing what she wanted to do at 15, which now makes me want to cry. And I always say that. I was like, that's what I wanted to do. I just didn't know
Mm-hmm.
any place. But it is but it's also I think there's this deep fear that's once you get to high school, you have to choose what you're going to do. You have to stick with that. And I was like, I'm terrified of doing that because I don't want to be boxed in. But even though I'm literally doing a dream that I love, a job that I love, I can still do other jobs, you know?
Yeah.
What about you? What about 15-year-old Hannah?
This is actually perfect because I just read a letter from my 15-year-old self like 2 weeks
Perfect.
ago, 3 weeks ago. So I had two options for myself. It was either I was going to be on Broadway and making it big, and I was like, that for sure can still happen. I mean,
Oh, 100%.
not in a musical, but anything else can for sure happen. Um, or I was going to be a lawyer and running for the president of the United States. Not yet. Like I would be setting myself up for
Mhm.
running for the president. And I feel like I'm setting myself pretty well.
Yeah.
Like I've
I
applied
mean,
to law schools. I work for the state government. Like I've set myself up
you're on the
pretty well
same
right now.
path. Yeah.
Yeah. 15 year
That's,
old Hannah knew it.
you
And she
know,
really did it straight from it.
and then a side gig in Broadway.
I mean, but even then, I can make a comeback in my 50s or
You can.
60s.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
you never know. And
Oh,
by then, they don't
yes.
care if you can sing.
Mhm.
They just care that you're still alive.
Yeah. I'm gonna skip the third one because I feel like we've talked about that fairly recently.
Oh yeah.
Um, I don't want.
Please choose. You wrote all of these, so pick your poison.
Okay, what would you tell younger Hannah about how have you grown in your self confidence?
Oh, was trying to figure out what question you were at.
I'm just going down the list.
That makes sense. God, I don't know.
Are there certain things you're super insecure about now that you've learned to grow over it?
I mean, if you go back to 5 or 6 year old Hannah, people love your red hair now way more than you loved it then. And it's not the odd thing anymore. Like people want it more than you wanted it then. And people don't touch your hair anymore either. Sorry. That just feels like it has to get said. Don't touch people's hair. It's weird. Um, but then like middle school or high school, Hannah, like it's all just a number. Like it doesn't mean anything. And I
Yeah.
think now it's like we put so much importance in numbers, like weight,
Mhm.
size, even age sometimes. But like at the end of the day, is just a number. So long as you're still able to show up for yourself and the others around.
Yes.
Like there's certain give and take with it, but
Mhm.
the looking at the end of the day, like I would tell little Hannah, like we can look in the mirror now.
That is so sweet.
What about you?
I was gonna make a joke, but was not appropriate to make in this
No, I was
situation.
actually trying to be like very
I
serious and
know.
reflective, which is so weird for me. So
I know.
because I've been making joke, like I'll make a joke after we say something
Yeah.
serious.
Um, I would say like you can still have a nice smile without like with having teeth that don't look perfect. And obviously, you got work done on your teeth, but like just because your teeth don't look cosmetically the way everyone else's teeth ideally look doesn't mean they're bad. And also, um, people don't pay attention to your teeth nearly as much as you think. Um, really cut your hair the way you want to cut your hair. Like, do not make your hair be the way that everyone else's hair is so you fit in. Because then you're gonna look back and you know it's gonna be a horrible look. You've had questionable hairstyles, young
Oh my
Elizabeth.
god,
You
yes.
have, but there's no harm in any of those. But don't do it just because everyone else wants it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay. Yeah, and I would say from like elementary Elizabeth up until like college, like just all that like what size you wear is not doesn't matter. If your sisters wear one size doesn't mean that you have to wear the same size.
Mm-hmm.
Like what you said, it's just a number and it doesn't define you and you're healthy and in what capacity and safest and everything. And doesn't mean it's necessarily always going to be easy and it's not going to matter anymore, but doesn't make or break who you are. Doesn't mean anyone's going to love you less, you know?
Yeah.
I'm trying to like not cry saying that,
No,
so I
I
feel
feel
like I sound very choppy.
I think you're more likely to cry in this, but I'm more likely to be the reason that you end up crying.
Yes. Also, side note, I think did you say this on the episode where you were like, where I said I always cry in front of you? And you're like, you only really cry in front of me when it's like books or
No, that
like,
was when we were in the car having
oh,
like a really deep personal moment, I think. And then I was like, never actually seen you cry except over books. And then, well, nope, I'm not gonna expose you.
I like fully sobbed in
You
front.
fully sobbed in front of me on Friday.
Hannah said,
Not for anything like,
no. Hannah said, no, not anything
not
like
anything like bad.
that. No,
I
no,
mean,
no.
yeah, not good, but not like bad, bad.
Yes. It was just a work thing,
Yeah.
like just But Hannah was like, yeah, you only really cried for me about like books in One Direction, and I was like, surprise, Shawty, you're gonna have to deal with this. Like, I don't know.
To be fair, I only cry about books and Taylor Swift, so
Match made in heaven.
um,
We
so
had to make a joke.
yeah, I like jumping around.
Okay, cool,
Um,
cool.
how so we've kind of talked about this a little bit, or you talked about it with like the changing of your hair, but like how has your style and aesthetic changed as you've grown up and you've like learned more about yourself?
Okay, so anyone can tell you that I have a very expressive sense of style. And then sometimes I'm like, I'm literally just gonna wear a sweatshirt and sweatpants because I do not care. But I very much express myself. In an outfit. Like I will put all the accessories together. I love it. I think about it a lot. I think a lot of that's like a defense mechanism of like my armor when I think about it deep down. Because I'm like, if I don't think I look pretty, then I can make my clothes look pretty. You know?
I,
Um.
sure.
So I think I always feel like was terrified of being ordinary. That I'm like, I'm really gonna lean into being different in the capacity of like I'm gonna dress different.
Mm-hmm.
So like I definitely had very questionable styles in elementary school that my sisters remind me of. Like there are certain outfits I wore to I in middle school that I wore to church. So I'm like, I should have never worn that. And who let me out of the house in like bright purple stockings and a matching black glittery beanie? I don't know.
Your mom. It was also the early 2000s. Cut yourself some slack. Like,
My brother got baptized that day. We have his baptism pictures. I'm in these outfits, okay? And like combat boots with like hot pink laces. Like what the? it was the style, but like
Mhm.
why? Why? But I also think like in high school, like I dressed lots of patterns and flowiness, and a lot of that I'm still like that, but in a lot tamer setting because of my work and like
Mhm.
professionalism. But I think I've grown to be more cohesive, if that makes sense. I'm
Mhm.
definitely cohesive. Um, and also like allowing myself that like you can have one aesthetic and then the next day have a completely different aesthetic. You don't have to always just be hippie 70s, and some days like you're gonna wear your little like you're gonna wear something that's gingham and it's gonna be like very coastal, and then some days you're just gonna be in shorts and a t-shirt, like like.
Mhm.
And I think like I did not give myself, is this the question, like I think this is following this right,
Yeah, you're
I did
following it right.
not give myself the freedom or ability when, especially when I was in high school, to switch it, because I was like, people are gonna think I'm a fraud, because already thought I was a fraud. That's why I was disguising myself with my clothes, and I was like, people are gonna actually see that I'm a fraud and all that, and everything. But I was like, also like, who says you can't? Like, who says you can't?
Who says? Who says? Won't you tell me who said that? Yeah. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
It's just you said it and
But like, I mean, you don't have to follow. Like, you don't have to do it. You
mhm.
do not have to. I mean, unless you're like. So, anyways, I think that's the biggest thing. Is like you like I don't know. I think that makes sense.
It does make sense. If
What
it makes
about
sense to you, then it
it
makes
makes sense
sense.
to me. What about you?
Um, I don't know. Honestly, thinking about it, like in middle elementary school, I for sure had such a good, not a good sense of style, but like such. I did not care in elementary school. I wore my chevron, not chevron, my houndstooth pants with my
Oh,
rock and roll t-shirt and my
yeah.
red beanies.
Oh, and you wore like you everyone wore like the Bermuda plaid shorts, the graphic
Oh, I did
tees.
not do that. That was literally I was don't
Okay, well that's what I wore.
I wore my pink sparkly ruffle skirt with my pink like nice flip flops, not like regular old rubber
Yes.
flip flops, with my field day elementary school field day shirt because it was pink. I rocked a whole pink look. Like I knew I'd have to sit out in gym because of it, and I did not care. And so elementary school Hannah did not care. Middle school Hannah though, and high school Hannah, like when like you actually like realize
There's
insecurities
such
are a thing.
a sad feeling of when you realize that
I
you
know.
care now. I'm
Like
like, why?
the second I started to care, I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Not basic." I think I finally realized, like, I looked different than other girls because I was taller and I had different hair, like, I wasn't the blonde girl, I wasn't the brunette, like, I realized, like, "Oh, I am" like, in elementary school, it was like, "Oh, yeah," like, it was a competition between me and one of the other boys of, like, who was the tallest in our class because we were in classes, like, all 5 years, and so, like, I had no thought. I was like, "Yeah, this is a
Mhm.
competition. Like, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna be the tallest." And then I was like, "Oh, it's me, him, and then, like, 5 guys behind us." And then it starts all the girls. And I was like, "Oh." And so then middle school and high school was like, blend in, but not like be basic, but like just jeans and a t-shirt. You don't need anything more. Like you can just be simple and wear your Converse. God, I loved Converse. It's like
You did.
obsessed. And then, yeah. And then in college, I was like, I'm tired of jeans. And so then I wore leggings and shorts. And then finally, when I had to like actually show up for work and could dress how I wanted, I was like, I realized I like jeans and t-shirts because I like jeans and t-shirts because it's a comfortable thing to me and I can make it look cute and I can do my hair and put on all my jewelry and make it look cute, but I can also dress it down.
Yeah.
And now dressing in business clothes, I'm like, I got good style for my business clothes. I don't care what anyone else says. It might look basic and it might be just like 50 shades of neutrals. I don't care. It looks so good and my accessories, it all pops off.
Yes, and you should feel comfortable in what you wear. Like, I mean,
Exactly.
yeah, I think your business wear is great. I find it very interesting. That's like you in middle school and high school. You're like, oh, let me blend in because you're like, oh, I have features that stand out, and I'm like, I look like every other girl. I'm going to make myself stand out.
Yeah.
And we're like, let's be besties.
No, for real. I'm like I mean, at church like I'm surrounded by all these blonde girls. What can I do to just And
No,
then I realized it does
there's
not
no shame
matter.
in being blonde.
No, there is no shame in blonde.
I just want to clarify
No,
from one blonde to any other blondes listening.
there's literally no shame in it.
No,
It's just when you've been a redhead your whole life and people also tell you, "Oh, just wait till your hair goes blonde. What are you gonna do then?" I'm like, "My hair's not going blonde. I'm a redhead through and through. Can you not tell by the angst in my face how I'll literally fight anyone? Thank you." No,
oh, my flashlight just
but
turned
it's fun
on.
to stand out now.
Exactly.
Um,
Okay.
I'm letting you pick these. Reading some of these, I'm like, I don't think I could actually answer these questions. And
Why?
not that I couldn't, but I feel so, I don't know why. It just feels so exposing. But then I also have to remember, I'm just having a conversation with you. Like, these are things we never really talked about because in high school we were too insecure to actually talk about our insecurities.
Exactly.
And then now we're like overly confident, not overly confident. Now
We're
we're
secure.
secure in ourselves. And so we're like, we don't have to bring up
Also,
the
just
past
because
stuff.
I'm a lot more self-confident than I was in high school does not mean I am insecure free. I am,
No, everyone still
but
has their
yeah,
insecurities. It's just a matter of if you let them actually weigh you
yeah.
down or not.
Um, I'm interested if we should go this route.
Right, my hair just looks really good
It is
today.
really good. Hannah got a haircut, by the way, not today, but a couple days ago. Very good.
It's a sleigh. I
I mean,
kind of
by the
want to
time
cut
this
it.
episode comes out, she'll have a haircut for a week.
I kind of want to cut it a little shorter. Not gonna lie, but I don't think I should.
The middle part is also just,
The middle part is such a sleigh.
dude, me and
Oh,
you both, extreme side
extreme
parts.
side part
And we
to
were like,
middle part. I remember my
I feel like,
freshman year of college. I like had extreme side parts. It didn't matter how long my hair was all throughout middle school and high school. Extreme, like that picture of you, me, and Caroline, the black and white one.
yeah,
Extreme side part.
mine too,
And
bro.
then spring semester, my freshman year of college, I was leading middle school girls, and one day they asked to do my hair and they put it in a center part. And I was like, yeah, okay. And I looked and I was like, wait, center part life. And they're like, Hannah, you just can't do a center part like that. Like, you have to slowly transition to a center part. And I was like, you're 12. You don't get to tell me what to do. I'm sticking with my center part. And it hasn't left me since.
That's what I'm saying. I had a extreme side part for a lot of my life, especially with having shorter hair.
It's like
And then
senior year of high school, you went center part.
yes, because that's when I got bangs. So
Yeah.
then, like, I had side bangs too when it was a side part, and then at the moment I remember you switched to
It
middle part. I
frames
was like,
everything so perfectly. Some
yeah,
people still look so good with side
yes,
parts.
my sister has side part, and it looks so
And
good
there are
on her.
some days I'm like, oh, I could for sure go back. And then I remember I have bangs, and I'm like, I actually can't. Everything's too perfect like this.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, and I do truly think getting bangs was one of the saving graces of my hair.
Amen. I also agree it was one of the saving graces of my hair when I
Yeah.
decided to cut bangs in my cousin's
See,
bathroom.
we're very similar.
We're the same person, different haunts.
Exactly.
Like, it's what was it? We wore basically the exact same outfit too, of just sweaters, jeans, different
Oh,
shoes.
yesterday to church.
Oh yeah, yesterday at church, we were both in t-shirts and jeans and like different. Like I had a sweater and she had a jacket on, and we had our different variations of shoes, which
Shoot,
is me and Nikes, and were you and
Blundstones.
yeah,
Yeah, but our hair was also curled in like two different ways of being
hmm
curled. Like it was just us.
it was us,
Us.
but
But like
like the slightest
too fun.
variation.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, it's just so fun.
I also think 15-year-old Hannah and Elizabeth would be very happy that we were friends still.
Oh, they would be so happy. They would be so shocked.
That my mom would be
I
shocked,
don't think they would be shocked so much as
but
just
proud. I think
proud.
maybe. Yeah, yeah. I think it would make them cry.
I think they wouldn't believe that
No,
friendship could
and
continue
if you,
that long.
God, Hannah, why you gotta say that?
Sorry, I was more speaking on my end as I was reflecting of all the friendships I had from elementary, middle school, and high school, and how like some are still around.
No,
But then
I
like
agree.
there's like you and your sisters
Mm,
are the only ones that I can confidently say like, and I would lump Kristen into this, but like I would lump a select few other
mhm,
people, mainly church people, shocking, not shockingly, but shockingly, that I would lump that I would say, hey, no, confidently, I've known you for 10 years of my life
mhm.
and been
Yeah,
consistently present for 10 years.
yeah, yeah. I agree. And if we told like 8-year-old Hannah and Elizabeth, we're like, oh, we actually
I'd be
chose
like,
to hang out with them willingly outside of
I'd be
church.
like, who are you? I'm
I was
like,
like,
I don't know who this
we're
is.
not we're friends outside of just casually going to each other's birthday parties because done life
Okay,
together.
except I need to look at childhood pictures. I don't think you were ever at my birthday parties.
I don't think I was at your, like, elementary birthday parties, I think it was more, like, middle
I say
school,
you
and
were
then,
at middle school, but like early, like pre-K birthday parties. I don't
no.
think I was at yours, like,
But
or I don't think you were at mine like I would have been at
you
yours.
were only at my Build-A-Bear one.
Oh, okay, then never mind. I don't feel bad.
Yeah. But, yeah, I think, like, I would be shocked that we are still friends. I would especially, like, 12-year-old Elizabeth would be shocked that I'm friends with Belle, like, close friends with Belle, and that us 3 are all friends.
Hmm.
I would have been like, "In what world does that exist?"
A beautiful world, a
Beautiful
great
world.
big beautiful world.
Yes.
I'm
Great,
s-
big, beautiful life.
I'm so ready for Emily Henry
Yes.
to break my heart.
Okay, so that kind of covers friendship. Not well, kind of.
No, I think it did.
I think it did.
And
But,
for
yeah,
in this capacity, I think
it
if we
did.
cover it anymore, we'll
So let's
probably
talk about
cry.
the awkward conversation.
Love.
How have we experienced love slash relationships? What did we learn about love, and how has it shaped us or changed our views?
Okay.
Take it away,
I don't
Hannah.
know how we're supposed to interpret this question. And
You can
so,
do it in any.
um, I don't know. I think we learned that communication is key, which I feel like is regardless of romantic or not,
Mm-hmm.
that is key. And that it's okay to have awkward and tough conversations. Like real conversations aren't supposed to be scary.
Mm-mm.
And if they're scary, then they're probably not the right ones. We
Well,
also
it's okay if they are
scary,
scary.
but
If you're left,
if you feel scared to have that
mm-hmm,
conversation and you left still feeling scared
you're
of
afraid about
their
what they're gonna
opinions,
say. Yeah,
then it might not be
the one.
the one. But like, I don't know, because I don't know how like deep we're getting on here.
You can go as deep as you want. I kind of haven't. I don't know if you want me to say
I kind of
mine.
want you to go first because since you're the one who wrote, I want to know what your intent behind the question is, and then
Okay.
I can determine how I want to answer from my standpoint.
So we're just gonna give lore.
Go for the lore.
I would say, okay, if we're talking to 15-year-old Elizabeth, then it's like you are your worth is not in boys at all,
Hmm.
and who likes you, and those boys that you want attention from are stupid, and you don't need their attention. Um, and then I'm talking to like 17-year-old Elizabeth. Having a failed relationship does not define you. And so many beautiful things will come out of, something like that. It doesn't make you any less. Sorry, that said, you're going to get lore. So we're going to go, it doesn't make you any less than. No one's going to think poorly of you. If they do, then they're not in your corner. And you will see, she has seen who is in her corner and who is not. But just because you don't think you look like every other popular girl doesn't mean that someone's not gonna love you. But again, your worth is not in boys. And then like you're gonna be asked out, and that's exciting. But also like you're gonna be asked out, and it's not gonna end well. You're not gonna find the one um, in that manner. And it's like, yeah, you're gonna date someone. You're gonna let someone see you in that capacity and share things with them, and you can't beat yourself up for being a very open person and being sensitive and oversharing, and then having that person walk out of your life. It sucks, but it doesn't make you any. I want to like shake my shoulders, look at me, and be like, it does not make you any less worthy of receiving love until you've like, and you doesn't matter when you find, and also like when you experience it, and you will at some point in some manner, like it's going to be
Hmm.
you're I think you're gonna realize that it doesn't define your worth, but it makes you real because I don't want to say like, oh, it makes you realize how great you are, 'cause I don't want to say like, oh, when you're in a
No,
relationship, it's gonna make you see how great you are, but it's like when you find that
you
right situation, you're
just
gonna realize that like all these things you were worried about having to put on and make sure someone still stays and loves you, don't have to worry about that
you
because they're
appreciate your full value
yes,
at like
because they're
it's
not going to make you
baseline.
question your worth, and they're not going to make you have all these doubts. And it's like you said, like you're going to have a hard conversation with these people, and the people who can receive it well and actually agree with you, that's how you know, and everything. And you're going to realize that
Hmm.
for the right thing, it's worth it.
Hmm. Okay,
I'm
now
trying to be like subtle, but like also like I kind of just want to be like,
yeah, no.
you
Okay,
know?
I know now now that I know how we're
Yeah.
handling this.
I might add more when you
Do
finish.
you
I
want to
don't
add?
know.
Okay, I was gonna say, let's like you can
You go and then
now that now knowing how you're doing it to like 16 and 17-year-old Hannah. don't date and don't have situationships with the boys in your friend group. Like, it's fun to flirt, even if you don't realize you're flirting, but like that, it hurts more in the end because you lose a friend just as much. And then you also realize how horrible of a person they were, but you don't know how to tell your friends that they're that horrible of a person. So you're just kind
Mhm.
of stuck in the in between.
Yeah. Which isn't fair.
No. And then to college, Hannah, like, you're not going to get asked out. And it doesn't lessen your worth at all. Like, you're not far behind in any means. Like,
Mm-mm.
even if all your friends are going on dates, if they're getting engaged and getting married and you're 20, 21, it doesn't mean anything because it's their life, not yours. Even at 22, it's their life, not yours. And it's still hard. And you realize, God, now I'm actually going to
Oh,
cry.
I'm already crying.
Like, I feel like I have to turn around again. Like, you realize, like, yeah, fears and like trauma gets brought up, but you realize, like, what you're, like Elizabeth said, like, your worth
And what you want to
and
actually
what
look
you
for in a
want. You
guy.
realize what you deserve and how you should be
Mhm.
treated, and that you shouldn't be forgotten and feel like you're in second place. And you shouldn't open up about something and then immediately be rejected because they couldn't handle it. It's not a matter of you being too much, it's they're too little for you.
Mhm. And someday you're gonna find someone that's gonna see all of your muchness. This is in a happy place when you remember Win and Harriet are laying in the two twin beds,
Hmm.
and Harriet's like, "You're just no." Win says, "You're just so." And she goes, "What? What are you talking?" He goes, "Just vast." And it's like you're gonna find someone that's just gonna see your muchness and your vast, how vast you are, and want to fully consume themselves within that. And it's not. That's when you know. I don't really like. Not that I can give advice on that manner, but it's like
But there's no such thing as being too much for
no.
someone.
And you're just finding people who are emotionally unintelligent in that manner. And also, like, oh, you said something that I was going to add on for myself. Oh, like, you're going to get into a stage where 95% of your friends are dating someone engaged and then married. And you're going to feel like, what the crap is wrong with me? And it's going to hurt like a butt cheek on a stick. Like, it's going to be painful. But also, you don't want to be, you are so happy to celebrate them.
Hmm.
But it doesn't mean that you're never going to experience that. Doesn't mean you're any less. But also, like, doesn't you're not going to find the love of your life when you're 16. You're not going to find it when
No.
you're in high school or in college. And if you do, that's great. But that does not mean just because one person did and two people did that that's going to be the case for you.
And the joy of celebrating your friends when they're happy doesn't take away from the pain you might feel that you're
Yes.
not in these stages of life. But it's just as exciting to watch your friends fall in love and find their person or who they think their person is at
Yeah.
the time and just be there with them through it all. And
And you're going to realize that I'm saying you. I'm not saying you. I'm
I
saying
know,
like
I know
you.
you're,
You
I
know.
realize you're talking
Yes.
to yourself.
Yes. You really you realize that you're gonna look back and be like, oh, there's definitely those I was not ready for a relationship. I know I was not ready, and you're gonna kick yourself for realizing why'd you start something when you knew you weren't ready. But you can't be too hard on yourself.
You don't know it
You
till
have
it
to go through
happens.
experiences and stuff, and unfortunately, there's so many experiences that suck. But then
Hmm.
also, love is so much more than a romantic love that you're gonna feel so immense love by the people who stay and show up. Exhibit
Hmm.
A, Hannah, of like your cup is gonna overflow until you're ready.
You're going to learn
And
what
that
you
person,
deserve through the people that don't have to be
yeah.
there.
And when you find it, it's worth it, and it's not gonna be hard.
Hmm. And attacking other people doesn't make you feel better.
Hmm.
Anyways,
I
sorry.
just think about like if like literally, I'm thinking of like 15-year-old Elizabeth and Hannah were sitting right here. I just think about how shocked they would be.
15-year-old Hannah genuinely, only because she was such a planner, would be low key pissed with me right now. Like, genuinely, probably ready to fight, slap me across the face, and tell me to get my butt in gear because I've done something wrong. And honestly, that's kind of also where I'm at now. But I'm like, now I have the grace for myself of like, actually, everything is perfect. Not
Yeah,
perfect, but everything is as good as it can be at this current time.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so, teenage Hannah needs to learn to calm down.
Yeah, I think she would a 15-year-old Elizabeth would be like, "You don't have this planned out," and get super anxious, and I'm gonna be like, "You're gonna be fine.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be fine." She would also think my tattoos and my nose ring is super cool. Like, she would be losing her mind. I think I know 15-year-old Elizabeth would find 22-year-old Hannah so cool. Like,
Same. I
I
don't know
know
what
she
you're
would.
talking about.
Not that you're not, but I know she would be like, "Oh my gosh."
I don't know. Feel like to kind of wrap it up
Yeah.
because we've hit on a lot of things, but what are we slash what would we be most proud of where we are now? Where you are now. I say we because it's the collective, but
I feel like I think about it, I'm like, there's nothing big, like, monumental things. I could get really deep for a moment, and I'm like,
yeah, you
"What?"
get as deep as you want to get. Do you want me to give mine?
Yeah.
And then why you think I
Yeah.
was going to say that we didn't quit
Mm.
because there are lots of times like looking back, not much so much in high school, but like I guess from high school to college and like college acceptance and all of that
Mhm.
because I put a lot of worth in academics and a lot of times I was like I'm just going to be done. And I could either drop out of high school, I could drop out of college, but we didn't quit.
That's really good.
And that makes me cry thinking about freshman year Hannah, who is going to drop out in her spring semester. Anyways, but I didn't do that. I graduated a semester early because I'm a smart girl. And then I
Um,
didn't quit.
I think mine's along the same lines, but I was like, that you didn't give up
Mm,
in that manner. I know that sounds very similar to not quitting.
no, but
Yeah, but I think in multiple aspects of my life, like, you didn't give up in finding what your career was, and you're still changed, and you didn't give up even when it got hard, and you're not academically smart. I mean, you are, and like you, I meant to say you are academically smart, but even if it's not in the way that the world perceives it,
okay, I was like, man,
doesn't mean that like you didn't give up on that. And even if you are graduating a semester late, doesn't mean you're
the
any less smart than
public
anyone else.
universities have failed their
Yeah,
students. I'm sorry.
yeah, but it's like you just in life, you did not give up. You know.
Elizabeth is crying. Anyways, well, on that note,
I hope this was fun. Okay,
it
the
was
reason I thought of this episode is because a couple days ago someone had said like talking about our different sorry my voice cracked that was embarrassing talking about also you're not gonna hate your voice as much as you think you are because you're gonna be on a freaking podcast someday and you're gonna have to listen to it, so get over
or
yourself.
you just choose to not listen to it and you know that you're funny and that you can talk in front of people. Stick with the self-confidence.
But I was talking to someone yesterday or the other day, and they were talking about like, the different wasn't this episode Onyx Storm and this episode all book heavy? And they're like, yeah, I don't think you've really done an emotional one because you did like your journal ones. And I was like looking back on that, and I was like, oh yeah, was that yesterday at lunch
That
when
was
we were
yesterday
like,
at lunch.
yeah, when we were like, talking about like certain episodes that will not be named, and then
Mm-hmm.
like the journal one, and I was like, we haven't done a real serious one in a while. But
I
it's
know.
also around this time last year we did the For the Girls one, you know.
Yeah. Because mind you, I'm sitting at work. It's 10:40 in the morning, and I'm like, I don't know what we're gonna talk about. And Elizabeth's like, I can think of stuff, and then all of a sudden she sends me a note that says, "Dear younger me," and and then I immediately texted, like, there weren't even questions. I was like, are we doing a really deep sad episode? And she's like, not necessarily sad. And then I was like, just reflective. She's like, but I was thinking along the lines of meeting your younger self for coffee route. Yes. And then she's like, unless you don't feel it today. I was like, man,
I
we're
was just
good.
I'm like, I'm not working. I can actually acknowledge my feelings today.
And I'm like, I'm going to work tomorrow, which means I can acknowledge my feelings today and push them aside. Ah,
that
the balance. Just like Onyx Storm.
was foul.
Either you know, or you don't,
Don't
and it
and
sucks to suck. You know who you
you
are.
know who you are.
Sorry, you better figure it out quick.
We show no grace, no matter where you rank in our lives.
Which is very low for some of us here.
A balance,
Yeah.
an extreme balance.
Some some of us are bottom of the roster, not top of the roster. Anyway, so sorry. I feel like I'm getting a little. I'm a very passive person, guys.
Yeah. I feel like you just realized this.
That I'm a passive person or an aggressive person.
Both.
I've just learned that it's okay for me to be a little bit more
Yes.
aggressive and that I don't always have to keep my calm demeanor and that I can speak up and I can verbalize when I want to physically assault someone, even if I don't.
Even if Elizabeth tells you multiple times. But you asked for permission. You asked my.
I was going to say, you never told me no.
I never, because not.
And if anything, I was also told yes, that I could physically assault the person. Therefore, I was in the right.
Exactly.
Logic.
Also, younger Elizabeth, don't feel embarrassed for asking 15-year-old Hannah if she wanted to be your friend. Do not feel embarrassed about it because it's worth it in the
You
end.
never asked me if I wanted to be your friend. We just became friends, and then we committed to the soul sister bit, and just like it's.
Well, I just remember a very like thing where I was like, I'm gonna be like slowly like integrating myself into Hannah's life, and I'm gonna be like, and then I'm gonna see if she just pushes me away. No, literally, I'm like, if she pushes me away, then I know that's the truth. Everyone hates me.
I'm such
But I'm
a
like,
people
but
pleaser. I can't push people away. What are you talking about?
but I'm like, but if she lets me stick, I'm just gonna slowly like fully immerse myself in every aspect of her life, and then she's gonna become my best friend because I have no friends.
That
It was
sounds way more psychotic than it actually was. I still have the soul sister bag that you like makeup bag that you gave me like for like our first or second
yes,
soul sister.
it was a very active plan in my head where I was like, I have no friends.
It's
Who have I known? Hannah.
Yeah. Because as I already said, I had a lot of friend turnover because
Yeah.
they left.
Yeah, and so it was an act of like, I'm going to make sure she notices me.
It's really giving Mastermind by Taylor Swift right now.
And this whole podcast is here because of me.
Okay.
Here because of me.
Who? No. Okay.
Here because of me.
No, because that's like saying the person that comes up with the ideas is the only reason something exists. Like
I'm joking.
who's the actual engineer behind it who gets it and like makes it happen?
Over the podcast, we both do.
I mean, yeah, but like the physical releasing of the podcast.
But we've literally talked about we
I know
have
we both
equal
put it-
responsibilities.
I know we both put it in. So that exactly. So don't claim the whole thing.
It's a joke.
I know, but you know,
Just as you take credit for who I'm dating, I'm taking credit for the podcast. Okay.
No, I actually can take credit for that. I can take credit for everything up until y'all actually
Yeah.
met
Newsflash.
and set up the
Hannah,
setup.
Hannah, it's a matchmaker.
Yeah, because
We've never said that.
No, we haven't. It's because okay, but no, it's different. I can't actually. I could probably matchmake everybody if I knew somebody.
Will it work
I would
out?
probably time perfect. No, it would because it's me who's doing it, and I'm not going to set up people for the sake of setting them up. However, it also works that I just know you well, and I know him well enough to set y'all up. I was not trying to give anything away.
No,
That's the only shout out he's going to get on here ever again, just so he knows.
He better be thankful. He will be thankful.
He will, and he will never cross this podcast again. I say that I'm super happy for them guys.
He will be talking about this for a long time too.
I'm just gonna cut it out of the editing at the end.
Yeah.
It's just gonna end with you like
newsflash, we're actually talking about like Win Connor, in case anyone was wondering.
I set her up with Win Connor, guys.
Yeah, in case anyone was wondering.
No, I need somebody who I hate just enough, but I know y'all be a good match. I love Win Connor too much.
Grim.
No. Give me a second.
Legend?
No. Hold on. Oh, what's his name? Is it Therian? What's his name in Crescent City? The half mermaid?
The mermaid? Therian, yeah.
Therian? Yeah. No.
Bro, I don't want to end up with a mermaid.
Yeah, no, I could see it though because you have the coastal vibes.
He's kind of funny though.
Right? I'm telling you, even fictional characters.
You're kind of funny.
Anyways, on that note, now that it's like laughter and lighthearted again.
Wait, no, that's gonna be a spoiler of Crescent City. Good thing I caught myself.
No, spoil it, please. Crescent City spoiler alert. I would just stop listening to the episode now.
Who is Danica's mate? What was his name? The angel?
Oh, what is his name?
Because that would be.
Oh,
I'm gonna look it up.
What's his name?
Because I know he's hot.
No, he is.
He's.
Baxian.
Him.
That would actually work perfectly.
Yeah.
Okay, I think he's too aggressive, but I think it could also, but also with everything.
Yeah, I'm not as cool as Danica, but, like
No, okay, no, you stop. You're way cooler than Danica
thank you.
because you live.
That's why me and Danica are so similar. We have to cut that out. We have to cut that
No,
out.
I'm so sorry. You chose to say it.
Just kidding, because that's irrelevant.
Okay, I think we're actually gonna end the episode now. Bye, guys. I don't know
Bye.
how to end this.